MK-677 is very similar to other SARMs in the fact that it's trying to be the next generation of HGH, just like SARMs are trying to be the next generation of anabolic steroids. These are supposed to be more sophisticated, healthier alternatives to anabolic steroids. And in the case of MK-677, it's supposed to be a more sophisticated form of HGH. Now, I've made a video talking about HGH in depth, but I'll kind of go into it again for people that don't really understand. HGH, when you have elevated levels of HGH in your body, it competes with insulin. So you don't have as much circulating insulin in your body. The insulin's not able to bind at the same rate as it did before the elevated HGH. For somebody that's actually taking it for a growth hormone deficiency and they're taking it at low dosages, that's one thing. But in the bodybuilding world, bodybuilders want to take very high amounts of it. And the problem with that is you're going to have more circulating blood sugar because of the fact that you're not going to have as much circulating insulin. So, like I said before in my other HGH video, when you have too much circulating HGH, you're going to have a problem with blood sugar. And the problem with MK-677 is it's also a ghrelin antagonist. So ghrelin is responsible for our hunger. So what you have is a drug that is literally lowering your body's ability to control your blood sugar. And then on top of that, it's messing with your ghrelin, making you super hungry. So, I mean, in the long term, and when you take, human growth hormone products, you're supposed to take it long term for the benefits. So when I think of somebody taking something long term that's going to increase their hunger to a very high degree, where they're going to feel like they're starving all the time, and then they've lowered their body's ability to control the blood sugar in their body because of less circulating insulin, it's like, it's probably not the best thing to take long term. I mean, everybody's different. So, there's guys out there that are very skinny and, they start taking steroids and they start bulking up. And as they get bigger, they're like maintaining a six-pack because they're naturally skinny. It's hard for these guys to eat enough calories. And if you're one of those guys that is naturally skinny, like Ziz, was it Ziz or Z's? Those type of guys, as they grow and get huge, they still have a six-pack because they're super skinny to start with. Those guys could probably benefit from it. His brother Chest Bra is a big advocate of MK-677. But anybody else that has like a normal appetite, that gains weight at a normal rate or gains weight at a higher rate than other people, and I've said this before, I put on weight so easily. If I did not control my eating, I could be over 300 pounds easily, but I don't want to be a fat slob. So right now I'm currently cutting down, but it's like, taking MK-677, yes, it would help on my cut, but you're going to be losing your freaking mind. If you have taken MK-677 before and you were able to diet, that just blows my freaking mind. You're either the skinny guy that can't eat enough, or you're just an outlier. Because I bought a bottle of MK-677, I took it one night, and the entire next day I was ordering food to my house probably every 2 hours. And I would eat these absurd amounts of food. I'm talking 4,000 or 5,000 calories, and I wouldn't even be full. Like, it would just take the hunger away temporarily, and then I was freaking starving 2 hours later. And when I say starving, you literally feel like you are starving. So again, make someone feel like they're starving by messing with their ghrelin receptors, and then on top of that, make their body less efficient at controlling blood sugar. And it's like what you have is kind of a disaster of a drug. Like, I don't see the practical application. I know it acts much longer than human growth hormone, but at the end of the day, it's like we already have a problem in our society of diabetes and heart disease and overeating and eating junk food. So it's like, to me, it's the worst thing that you could ever give somebody in a medical setting. Again, if you're like Ziz or Chest Bra and you're this super skinny dude that has a hard time putting on weight, in those circumstances, yes, but those are such a small percentage of our society. Unless you're super skinny and it's hard for you to put on weight, I wouldn't touch this stuff. For one, it tastes god awful. I've taken Ostarine, and I'm going to do a video on that. I've taken Andarine. I took those together. The taste, the way this stuff tasted, I can't even explain it. It was so awful. And I literally only lasted a day on it because I felt horrible. I felt like a starving Ethiopian. And at the end of the day, man, it's just not a good drug in my eyes. I would stick with the regular HGH. I know it's a lot more expensive, but at the end of the day, screwing with your ghrelin receptors to the point that you're literally starving, I don't think that that's going to have a good outcome long term on your life, you know, on your cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure, all that stuff. It's just, you don't need to be stuffing your face 24/7. You're not going to live a very long life. So I think it's a terrible drug. I don't think it's going to get pushed through. I think that SARMs are going to be the future of bodybuilding. Maybe not the SARMs that they have out yet. I mean, I haven't taken the super powerful ones like the Rad 140. I just took, like I said, Ostarine and Andarine. Those are the two mildest compounds that they have. But at the end of the day, man, people like me, I got to be able to function and feel good day to day. I have so much stuff that I got to do all the time. Right now, I'm running 2 different businesses, and I can't take things that are going to make me like want to put a gun to my head. You know, like I hear these guys talking about certain anabolic steroids, and they're just like, I was living every day in misery. And I'm like, what? Like, you lived 10 to 12 weeks in misery just so you could take the steroid? To me, that's just crazy. I don't get it. You know, if I'm going to take something, it needs to have little to no side effects or make me feel better. So again, I do think SARMs are going to be the future, just not this one. Even though this technically isn't a SARM, but you guys know what I'm saying. I think there's going to be more developed, more powerful ones that hit the streets. And what I'm thinking about is like the underground chemists. You know, what if they start making SARMs that are like as powerful as freaking D-ball or Anadrol? That'll be very interesting, but only time will tell. Thank you for watching.